I have finally watched it, and I have a lot to talk about it, but yet I don't, if that is confusing.
Shall we begin? Let's begin.
What's going on, guys? It's Dan the Man, aka Daniel's son, and welcome to another movie review but we're talking Parasite. Now, I'm not going to give too much away on this movie because this is one of the few movies I think you have to sit down and you have to watch it. It is a well-written, fantastic, just throws you for a loop kind of movie, you know? Really appreciate the director. He's the same person who's directed Snowpiercer, which I actually really liked when that came out. That was with Chris Evans. So Parasite has to deal with an unwealthy family who pretty much are con artists and are able to employ themselves with this wealthy family. And they use pretty much whatever means to live the good life like they do. They're able to bring this charade to them and act like they're friends, act like they're employees, but they're really kind of despicable people if you think about it. However, what I love about the director is he said when using the title Parasite, it's not necessarily talking about the poor using the wealthy. It's kind of vice versa. The wealthy is using the poor. Think about it. This family in this movie seems to not be able to do anything for themselves. They can't really cook. They don't drive themselves. They really can't. You see a little glimpses here and there of how they love their son, yet they don't really necessarily are full hands-on with their son. So that title, what I love about it is the director said that title can go both ways. There was a lot of controversy of using that and then depicting the poor as these parasites coming into this house, but yet it could be flipped. But the acting in here is really stellar. It's a really good, well-acted film. But what makes this movie very special is how smart it is. These characters, you know, are really, really dumb. This thing cannot go smoothly as planned throughout this film. But it kind of does a little bit. It does. There's like the highs and the lows in this film. But what gets me is the script. The script is fantastic. I mean, it's a little bit of a slow burn in the beginning because you're kind of just in your head wondering, where are we going with this? What is going on? Wait a minute. Whoa. And as you go further through the film, and it's a very lengthy kind of film in my opinion, but it never feels dull. It never feels like I was bored. I was so engaged when this film kept going along because the stakes kept going. It kept being stacked. You were kind of on the edge of your seat because you're seeing this family go into this household little by little, say they're one thing, but they're not, but yet they're employed. One becomes a driver, one becomes a teacher, one becomes a cook, basically the whole shebang. The whole family is living in this one roof with this wealthy family. And the wealthy family is, I kind of had a little sympathy for them. But then it's just kind of strange. I actually really like all the characters, and I was very surprised with some of the characters. And believe me, there's some freaking surprises in this movie. The twist is what makes this movie super memorable, especially to the last act of the film. The very finale of the film too is just amazing. It really threw me for a loop. When I'm able to say holy shit out loud, you got me. You got my movie. Now, the family members actually feel like they're actually family members. They live this life in the beginning, and you see them go through the progressions. It's like everyday life for them, but they're living in a dirty old place. They barely have any Wi-Fi. They barely have any food. They're, like I said, they're scam artists. And then you see the wealthy family, and they're living this luxurious life. They have a beautiful house. They have actually a really great backyard. And then the characters kind of naive, yet they're not their typical, shout at you, degrade you kind of characters. Everybody feels like a normal person. Everybody feels like a person you know. The ending of this film is perfect. It's very surprising. It's something that you're never going to guess in a million years. There is, like I said, there's a lot of twists and turns, but the ending of this film makes a lot of sense, especially when going back to the beginning. This story is definitely like a bomb being ignited, and it's slowly going to explode. That's how I could just describe this film. It's a film that everybody should be watching. It's a film that people should take notes and see what you can do when you have an idea and you really embrace that idea, you craft that idea, and you make something that you passionately want to do. Like Parasite was definitely something that was a little bit different, and I like different, and it gave me different, and it gave me what I wanted, and it was just an overall enjoyable movie. So check it out if you haven't already. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Parasite, what did you think about it? Comment below if you've seen it. Is that your #1 movie of last year, or is there another movie? And I could think of another movie in mind that I kind of enjoyed a little bit more, but this was definitely something, a breath of fresh air. And good job. All right, guys. You guys